Join us for an incredible day at Magic Kingdom with our 1-year-old and our 3-year-olds. We'll take you to the royal table, explore amazing rides, as well as give you some tips and tricks of characters, food, and entertainment when you are taking toddlers to Magic Kingdom. We'll also show you some new things going on in 2026.
Welcome to our channel. Love to travel in our family. Join us on our adventures. We do want to go. Don't forget us.
We kicked our morning off really early by going to ʻOhana for breakfast at the Polynesian Resort, which is a part of Magic Kingdom. Quick tip, if you are somebody who wants to park at a resort and use the dining areas there and then try to hop over to a park, Disney is cracking down on that a bit. When we got there, we actually got a ticket saying that we were only to be at the resort for 2 hours. So after our reservation, we actually drove over to Magic Kingdom in our car because we didn't want to waste time by dropping off our car and taking transportation. And we headed right over to Magic Kingdom. Just a quick reminder, if you are staying at the resort, you do get free parking with your car. So we took advantage of that. We felt like it was quicker than using the resort's transportation. And we headed right in and walked Main Street. Now, I've been to Disney a lot, and this was our 3rd trip as a family going to Disney. The absolute best advice that I can give you is plan. So I personally know that if I want to go to restaurants, I'm going on the app 60 days before and booking my reservations. And what I like to do is once I get those reservations booked, I plan how we're going to the park based off of my reservation times. So the best thing for us was to head to Tomorrowland. My best advice is download this Disney app. If you're not using it, you are missing out on a lot of information, wait times, as well as what rides are actually in there. You can get lost in the park, and this is going to help you stay connected and know where you're going. We headed straight to Tomorrowland, but Buzz Lightyear was still closed when we got there, so we went right for the Astro Orbiters. Something to keep in mind is there are height requirements when you are going to Disney. Just a quick tip, there are so many rides that you can go on with a child that has a height restriction. All of these rides are for children with a height restriction, a toddler size. And so there are so many options in Magic Kingdom for you and your littles. One that was not listed online, but we were currently, as you can see on, was the Astro Orbiter. Our 2-year-old was able to get on it. If your child is under 32 inches, these rides are available to them, but 32 inches is where you will start to have restrictions like the Speedway, Barnstormer, and other rides, obviously like Tron. Another quick tip is in the entryway of Magic Kingdom, right after you get out of the main entrance of Main Street, you can go to the left and you will see a family changing area. We felt this was the best option for our family, so we did do loop arounds, and anytime we were near there, we would go to the bathroom with our kids. Another great ride we did not do in Tomorrowland is more of a show, is the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. We thought that was such a cute ride. We had just done it the last time we went to Disney, and so we did skip it because we had minimum amount of time and we knew that we had to keep going in order to achieve the things that we felt were most important to us. Unfortunately, you are going to have to pick and choose. So we continue along. That's the Tron ride. If you keep going around towards that way and to the left, it will actually bring you right to our next stop, the next ride our 3-year-old really wanted to go on, which is the Barnstormer. This is actually going to be her first roller coaster. As you can see, there are height restrictions. So if you have the age difference, something that we did with our 2-year-old while my husband took our 3-year-old, I took our 2-year-old right over here, right across from the Barnstormer. And this is a little water play area, and she had an absolute blast. Now, just to give you an idea of what we just did, we were in Tomorrowland and we headed that back way, like I said. And as you loop around right there, you have that whole circus area where the kids really love to be, right? You have an entryway to get onto the railroad. You have the Splash and Soak Station Casey Jr. area. You have the Big Top souvenirs. And if you so please, this is where you can meet characters with this theming. But for my family and I, we were going on a Disney cruise after this trip. And so for us, We wanted to just enjoy Magic Kingdom, and so we weren't really going to see characters necessarily. Instead, we really wanted to focus on rides. So my 2-year-old had a blast over here. Something also that's really beneficial too is there are bathrooms in this area, just in case you do need to use the bathroom. It is right in this area as well. And of course, the iconic ride that everybody likes to go to here is Dumbo. So this is really a wonderful area when you have littles, and Dumbo even has a playground area as well inside. So there are a lot of options here when you have little ones. Once my husband and my 3-year-old were done, I am so glad that my little one ran around for a little while because we had to wait in line for a very long time to get onto Dumbo. I really came prepared to wait in lines, and I prepared my kids to wait in lines. We talked a lot about it with them, but I was not prepared for the wait that we had for this line. It was 1 hour and 45 minutes. But parents, make use of your time. Here's how I hacked this. I did a mobile order right before we went on to our ride. I had the mobile order completely set up and ready to go for Pinocchio House. And what I did was I had it where our kids were ready to go to ready to eat, had everything set so that all we had to do was get off this ride and head straight over to where our food was. And the way that the mobile ordering works is that when you're ready to go pick it up, you're going to click for them to start cooking your food. So as this ride was about to start, I clicked it and it said it was going to take 10 to 15 minutes, which worked out great. I clicked it, giving myself enough time to go on this wonderful ride, knowing how long it would take for me to get from the ride and how long the ride was going to take. And then I headed over for my order. Everything was timed perfectly. That is just a suggestion that I have for you, that if you have littles who are going to be hungry, which ours were getting hungry by this point, one, bring snacks with you, especially if there's going to be long wait times, as well as if you could bring something with you that will entertain your kids that you can also bring on the ride. By the time that we got to Pinocchio House, our girls were very hungry. They loved the chicken tenders and french fries, and they got apples with it. It was absolutely amazing because we were heading for a reservation at Beak and Barrel about 30 minutes after they had their chicken tenders and french fries. But Beak and Barrel doesn't have food like this, so we wanted to make sure everybody's bellies were full and ready to go enjoy some pirate fun. Quick tip for moms out there: we bring water bottles for our kids and we keep refilling them. Whenever you go to restaurants or you're getting a drink or you're getting a snack, always ask for cups of water. We take those cups, we put them into our kids' water bottles or our water bottles. Hydration is so important. You'd be surprised how kids can get so cranky simply because they are just thirsty. For this trip, we did have the dining plan. Kids did get dining plans for free for 2026. Our 2-year-old did not, but our 3-year-old did. And so a lot of meals, because they are 2 and 3, they could share, which was wonderful. And so sometimes a quick tip as well, you can get Powerade with your kids' meals. So just stay hydrated is my best suggestion. So let's jump back to our map. At this point, we are at Pinocchio Village Haus, right? And we are eating something. And so we knew that we had to go from there to Beak and Barrel. Now, timing is everything, right? We wanted to take the long route and be able to see everything along the way. Now, I have 2 toddlers, a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, so Haunted Mansion is not going to be somewhere that we are going. But of course, who can go to Magic Kingdom and not go into the Christmas Old Shop? And so there were some shops along the way that we did want to dive into, and we don't go to the Hall of the Presidents. Forgive me, that is not something that we usually go to, especially with 2 little ones, but we did want to go to everything else. But before we knew it, after shopping and everything, we headed into the area where we were going to eat at Beak and Barrel. Beak and Barrel was an absolutely incredible experience, but we actually have a full video where you can hear all the details of everything that we experienced, everything that we ate, and as well as the situation that happened with us with our reservation time, even though we made reservations 60 days in advance, and how Beak and Barrel was running as it just opened. But in brief, this was an amazing experience. Beak and Barrel is only 45 minutes that you were able to stay, so it was quick. And right around the corner is the magic carpets of Aladdin. My daughter was really excited, but once we got in, she got a little bit nervous. So I did what every mom would do, and I snuggled her. This is a really good ride. I love this ride because Aladdin was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid in the 90s. But the best thing too about this ride is there's actually a camel that's spitting out water. It's hysterical. Our 3-year-old was getting such a kick out of this. She did not want the camel to hit her, but then once the camel started getting us, she was cracking up. Now, we had an absolute blast on this ride. Our kids can't really do anything in Frontierland, so these rides are just so perfect when you have toddlers. They're so appropriate for them, and we just had so much fun. My little one was actually sleeping, so unfortunately she missed the ride, but she woke up just in time for the show at the castle. So at this point in the day, I wanted the kids to see at least one of the shows that were on the stage at the castle. And so my daughter, she was waking up, but she just really enjoyed it. And as she was trying so hard to wake up, we finally were able to get her up. And once she saw Elsa, whom she calls Let It Go, she got so excited because Elsa is her favorite. She was ready to be like her big sis and start to watch the show. These shows are really great. I highly recommend that you make it to the shows. But like I said, you have to pick and choose. And this is the hard part about Disney. What do you pick? What do you choose? I'll give you an example. We missed the parade. We couldn't see the parade based off of our reservations and our time frames. So just something, again, is picking and choosing can be very tough. All right, so let's dive right back into the map. Like I said, Frontierland isn't something that we generally do. And so after we were leaving Adventureland, we wanted to make sure that we hit up everything that we wanted to do. We really like to get things like the roasted pecans, and so we made sure to grab that in Adventureland. And we also wanted to make sure the kids right over here went to the bathroom in that baby area, that bathroom area. Again, it's right over here in this area. And so we wanted to make sure our kids, went to the bathroom as well. So after making sure everything in Adventureland was done, we personally aren't really into the tiki room. Don't judge us, but it is not our style. Our kids, we watched a video with them, and our daughter was like, I cannot go in a room with a bunch of birds, please. Our 3-year-old. So we did not go to the tiki room. Please don't judge us. But we were heading back to Fantasyland. So here's why we did this whole route. By doing the route that we did hit some wait times. For example, we did have to wait a bit to get onto this next ride, which is the Ariel's Ride Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. And we did have to wait, yes. And it also was because we did get to this area around 2 o'clock. But that's because we had reservations at the royal table, and we knew we were going to Cinderella's royal table around 4 o'clock. And so we did our whole setup the way we did it so that we would be able to still hit up rides in Fantasyland before we headed over to Cinderella's royal table. If you are a family of 4 with 2 littles, you can comfortably sit into one shell together, which is why I love this ride, because we were all able to experience together as a family. And it was so fun to hear our kids how excited they were, but it was also fun to be next to my husband. Watching these videos before we went to Disney is what really caused our kids to have the best trip we could have, because I watched videos on YouTube that showed the rides completely through before we went to Disney World. Now you may say that might ruin the magic. It truly didn't. It helped me really prepare my 3-year-old with what was going to come. If you are a family with a child who needs to know what's happening and perhaps they get a little bit more anxious of the unknown, this is so helpful for them. For example, we watched the Winnie the Pooh ride from start to finish, and when my daughter saw the envelope, she said, turn it off, and was so afraid of that scene on that ride, and therefore begged me not to take her on that ride. Had we found that out while in Disney, that could have perhaps really been a damper on the day, especially because she was only 3. But because I showed her the rides, I knew what she was going to enjoy. Even because this was a dark ride, she knew it was a dark ride, and even though she is nervous about the dark, she was prepared for what was to come, and she had such a great time on this ride because she knew what to expect. Another ride that she was nervous about was Peter Pan, and so that was another ride we did not go on as per my 3-year-old's hesitations. Knowing your kids is super important. What are their sensitivities? Because you want to have a good trip. We want to have fun as a family. We're there to enjoy each other's companies while enjoying Disney. And so there for us, that's why I work so hard in planning the trips and showing them their different options and making sure the things that matter to them most happen. We had a great time on this ride. And by this point, because of the wait time of the ride, we headed over to our reservation at the Royal Table, Cinderella's Royal Table. Now, this is a reservation that is very hard to come by. I did have to book it in 60 days in advance, and we do have a full video on our page if you'd like to check it out, but I will give you a brief overview. This experience was so worth it. From meeting Cinderella in the beginning, watching our little one just hug her for so long, that right there would have just been it for me. That would have been worth everything that we paid. But when you walk up and you just see the beauty, absolutely incredible. From the characters and each princess that you get to meet, as well as the incredible food, the experience doesn't even just stop at what you're eating. It's so incredible. They even have this wish ceremony. And although my 2-year-old was really into the food, my 3-year-old loved the wish ceremony and the way that the lights just go off when they say to open your eyes. Absolutely incredible and well worth it. Dessert was amazing, and we just had such an incredible time. The cast members there are so kind as well, and we were very full, but my girls were very ready to get onto the carousel. At this point in the day, our girls were getting really tired, but they were just so excited to go on this carousel, and the music and everything that's going on, they were just so in the zone and having such a great time in Disney. Love the carousel. It had the shortest wait time of 20 minutes, and we got on so fast. I was with our 3-year-old, and my husband was with our 2-year-old, and we just had such a great time. They were being so silly, and they were ready to go, and it was just so emotional because I have been on this carousel when my daughter was younger, and watching your kids grow is so much fun. We then headed to the Mad Hatter Tea Party, and would you believe my 2-year-old did not want to go onto this ride? She wanted a snack after Cinderella's Royal Table. And so while my daughter and I went on to the Mad Tea Party, which again, wait times are so short on these rides because there's so many different seats to go on. My husband and my little one went and got churros for us right around the corner. By this point, our little ones were so tired. By this point, we were talking, it is like 6:30 at night, and I don't know how we did it, guys, but we did everything that we wanted to do in Magic Kingdom by this point. We had even gone over to Be Our Guest area and Gaston's Tavern, and we even went to the Village Gifts area. We had made our way over to the carousel and then headed right down this way, down past Storybook Treats, past the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. We even went into the Winnie the Pooh store and went over to the Mad Tea Party to do the tea party area. My husband went over to the Cheshire Cafe and got a little snack for us while we were in there. But we did all of this. After that, we went down that walkway you see right there over the bridge, and we went over to the castle area. And we checked the whole map and decided it was time to go shopping in Main Street. They were about to have the parade, so it was getting a little bit packed. And our girls, we said, do you want to stay for the parade? But they were so tired, so we did the next best thing. We, of course, headed to Main Street Confectionery, and our little one got pixie dusted. It was so sweet. She had ordered 2 cookies, and one of the cast members there said she was so polite in the way that she had ordered it herself, and she gave her this cookie for being such a polite girl. And this is what we love about Disney: the kindness, the sweetness, things that just make that extra magical moment. We were so full, but we saved our 2 cookies for breakfast the next day. Don't judge us, but they were delicious. I highly recommend this new cookie here that they have. And by this point, our family decided it was time for us to go back to the Art of Animation. We had such a phenomenal time. There's just something so incredible about walking around Magic Kingdom with your two little ones and just spending time together as a family and taking time out to just enjoy these moments. For our family, this day was filled with every moment that we had hoped for. We had gone on every single ride, went to all the restaurants, and did everything that we wanted to do while we were in Magic Kingdom. I hope this video was helpful for you too. And thank you for spending a day at Magic Kingdom with us. Be sure to like and subscribe if this video was helpful, and also comment what your favorite part was.